One big benefit of Jagex releasing all the sailing information 3 weeks prior to release is that we have a pretty good understanding on how to train the skill at early levels. So I made an entire route for myself, and a couple of people asked me to also make a quick video on it. So if you're looking to get 50 sailing in the first few days, this is my personal guide on how to get there. By the way, I will be doing this route on all 3 live streaming platforms on day 1. Kick, Twitch, YouTube, I will be live. Also, I currently need one more level to get the max cape. I will get it just 2 minutes before system update kicks in, run to the max island, do the emote, and then lose the cape again. So if you want to see me own the max cape for 2 minutes or see a detailed day 1 sailing route, come check me out and say hi to me on any of these platforms. Okay, let's begin. Before you start, it is recommended to jump through your player-owned house and make a couple of repair kits at the workshop space. It'll take you like 2 minutes to make them, and it's essentially food for your boat, just in case you need it. Secondly, make sure you have a saw and a hammer at all times with you. Ideally, Imcanto hammer and Amy saw that you can equip, but normal versions will work as well. But okay, here we go. Step number 1, completing the Pandemonium quest gives you 300 sailing experience. That puts you nicely at level 4 sailing. You can start the quest at Port Sarim by talking to Anne and Will. The quest itself takes roughly 5 minutes and is basically a tutorial for steering your boat. Once you completed the quest, you will also be at Pandemonium. Before you do anything else, there should be a sea charting option near the cave in Pandemonium that gives you around 50 sailing experience. Make sure you go interact with that before you do anything else. Once that is done, you can immediately take your first port task at Pandemonium that you can deliver back to Port Sarim. At level 4, there aren't any meaningful unlocks. In fact, I'll get into upgrades very soon and how it's actually not that important at early levels. Along your way to traveling back to Port Sarim, you can also complete a couple of sea charting tasks near the Wizard's Tower. There's a total of 4 of them at Bay of Sarim, and all of those give you extra 50 sailing experience by just interacting with them. Once you're done with sea charting, go complete your task at Port Sarim, and that should unlock level 7 sailing, which now gives you 2 port tasks to complete. Also, make sure you complete all the random events you see while traveling around. They give decent experience and it's a nice way to get extra benefits. So, grab those 2 tasks at Port Sarim and take them back to Pandemonium. This now unlocks level 10 sailing, and we're gonna grab 2 more tasks from Pandemonium, but now instead we're gonna take them to Musa Point in Karamja. Also, before we drop off our supplies at Musa Point, we're gonna go interact with a couple of more sea charting options at Lumbridge Basin that you unlock at level 10 sailing. There's going to be 3 things to look out for: the corpse near the Group Ironman Island, the spyglass option near Lumbridge West Mine, and the treacherous rock near Lumbridge Swamp. These give you a nice chunk of bonus experience and it takes a couple of minutes to complete. Once that is completed, we take our 2 port tasks to Musa Point, and that now unlocks at minimum 12 sailing. While you're traveling to Musa Point, there are a couple of more sea charting tasks you can complete at the Mud Skipper Sound to get that bonus experience. One of them is the crashed glider near Karamja Gnome Glider spot. Then there is a stone tablet near Musa Point, spyglass near the shipyard, and finally a wreckage southwest of Tutorial Island. Also, keep in mind I'm being very stingy with experience rates. Instead of 12 sailing, you'll likely have a lot more already. But that's a good thing. It's better to keep it at smaller rates rather than go overboard. Anyways, minimum 12 sailing completed. This now unlocks a vital quest, Prying Times. The reward from the quest is crowbars, and those are used for sea charting and random events. We want that crowbar as soon as possible. So, grab 2 more tasks from Musa Point and take them to Pandemonium where the quest begins. Drop off your port tasks, which gives you a nice chunk of experience, and start the quest by speaking to Squawking Steve at the Pandemonium pub. This quest takes roughly 5 to 10 minutes at max and gives you 1000 sailing experience. With all of the sea charts, port tasks, and quest rewards, you should easily have over 20 sailing by now, and this means it's time to unlock our small boat and upgrade it. Since the Prying Times quest is completed at Pandemonium, you can directly go speak with the shipwright at the same island and buy a small boat for 10,000 GP, and then right-click that same NPC to go customize that boat. The things we want are: number 1, oak cargo hold, level 18 sailing requirement. We also want oak hull and the iron helm, level 20 and level 17 sailing requirement upgrades. Once those upgrades are done, we're ready to tackle further out. The next quest is Current Affairs that requires 22 sailing, and the beginning of that quest is at Caterpie Docks. So ideally we want to take 2 port tasks from Pandemonium that we can deliver to Caterpie, so there's no wasted time in between. And that should put us at 22 sailing to start the next quest. Along our way to Caterpie, we will also go through Remington Strait that has another set of sea charting options. One of them is the Dragon Activity marker next to Grandor Island, the other is Treacherous Rocks next to Hawk Goblins near the Crafting Guild, and finally there is a Spyglass option near Karamja Volcano spot. So make sure you interact with all those 3 to get that yummy experience. Once you get to Caterpie, drop off your port task, which will put you over 22 sailing, and that allows us to start with the next quest by docking to Arhane at Caterpie Docks. This is another novice level quest that should take 10 to 15 minutes, and the reward from this quest is a duck. And this duck is used for more sea charting unlocks. Complete the quest, you will get a bunch of sailing experience. Once again, grab another couple of higher level port tasks and deliver them to the next point, which is the Brimhaven Docks that unlock at level 25 sailing. Along the way from Caterpie to Brimhaven, say it with me, we'll have a couple of more sea charting tasks to complete. Look out for anything that you can interact with and keep your eyes open. 2 port tasks between Caterpie and Brimhaven until you have level 31 sailing. Now this is where you can go in multiple directions. If you want to go full AFK, you can continue with shipwreck salvaging. In fact, if you go a little further at level 35 sailing, Barakura shipwrecks is unlocked, and you also unlock steel salvaging hook, so using those 2 is a decent AFK sailing experience. You can also continue doing port tasks. At level 28 you will unlock the option to get 3 port tasks at once, which amplifies your experience even more. At level 31 sailing you also unlock teak hull and your first Barakura trials. So what I will do is just go to a shipwright at the nearest dock, upgrade my boat with teak hull, trims, flags, linen sails, which by the way you can get by using flax on a spinning wheel, and finally the iron keel. Basically all the upgrades from level 22 to 31 in one go. And then I will go to the first Barakura trials, which is the Tempor Tantrum. The reason I recommend completing this at least once is because your first completion for every stage gives you bonus sailing experience. And it's a big chunk of experience. We're talking at least 3000 for a couple of minutes of work. So I will do Barakura trials until level 40. Then I will upgrade my boat again with steel keel and steel helm, and I will go get my first crewmate at Pandemonium called Jobless Jim, who will help me out later on with other activities. Then I will continue with Barakura trials until level 45, and that's when I can start with the quest Trouble Tortugans that should take me roughly 30 minutes up to 1 hour to complete, and after that the world is your oyster. The entire route should take you about 4 hours and will put you at roughly 47 sailing. This is where a lot of options open up. Since you just completed the Trouble Tortugans, you can just stay on the Conch Island, explore it and maybe find other activities to do. But first things first, keep upgrading your boat as you keep leveling up. Mahogany hull becomes available at level 48 sailing. There's tons of metal upgrades at level 52, 54 and 55 sailing, and you can even put in the steel cannon at level 47 sailing. Secondly, at level 50 sailing, you can buy yourself a big boat, which will be a requirement for most late game stuff. At this point, you can continue doing port tasks if you want the chill method. Between levels 40 to 50, there's 6 different locations that become available through port tasks. At level 55, you can start the next Barakura trials, which also requires a couple of its own facility upgrades. Also, there's going to be hundreds of sea charting locations that you still likely haven't discovered. So again, keep your eyes open at the sea and interact with anything you can. And finally, at level 53 sailing, you can unlock large shipwrecks. If you wait until level 59, you can also unlock the adamant salvaging hook, and that's a nice AFK training method while figuring everything else out. Like I said, ideally it will take you 4 hours to get 50 sailing, and then you can continue with whatever you prefer the most. Keep upgrading your boat, keep interacting with random events, and enjoy the experience. If you want to see me go through this entire route myself, I will do so on day 1 of sailing live on stream right here on this YouTube channel. Come say hello to me and you can follow me along as well. But that's it, I'll see you soon. Bye!